Hello, I'm Dr. Garrett Boyer. Welcome to Gospel Minded, an outreach of Benedictus Psychological Services. Interested in psychology and behavioral health with a Catholic perspective? Check out benedictuspsych.com. On Gospel Minded, we spend a few minutes each week talking about psychology, our emotions, attitudes, beliefs, behavioral health, and we reflect on how these important things are related to the Gospel reading each Sunday. This is no substitute for going to Mass or getting to church, but we know so well that things of our mind and psychology so often go beautifully hand in hand with our spirituality. If this is your first time seeing Gospel Minded, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Either way, I hope that you'll hit like and subscribe, and then you'll never miss an episode of Gospel Minded. So, happy Easter. We've made it through Lent. I just got out of Mass at the cathedral on this beautiful Easter Sunday, and this is sort of what the whole Christian life hinges on, this idea of the resurrection. The Lord, a man who was dead, has come to life. Boy, there's a lot there to unpack spiritually, but there's a lot there that's relevant for our psychology as well. In a lot of ways, we all experience the symptoms of death: anxiety, stress, so many cares, concerns, worry, grief, sadness, depression, problems with relationships with others, occupational difficulties, so many things that can be a burden. And today is a day where we can really hope that there is a cure for all of these challenges and all of the ailments and all of the things that stress us out and cause us troubles in life. It's what we hope for on this Easter Sunday, the day of resurrection. So I actually want to take just a second here today. It's just such a beautiful day outside, and reflect on a word that stood out to me from the Easter Vigil last night. If you were one of those that went to the Good Friday liturgy, the Holy Thursday liturgy the night before, and then Easter Vigil, which is sort of the culmination of those 3 days, you heard a word that I heard, and it just really stood out to me. You heard it twice in the Easter Vigil liturgy. In the Easter proclamation, that long and beautiful song at the beginning of the liturgy, the proclamation uses the word, "Dazzling is the night for me." And then the gospel reading last night was that account of the resurrection of the Lord from the dead. And it said, "Behold, two men in dazzling garments stood before them." You know, these are the angels now guarding this tomb where Jesus had risen from. You know, the word dazzle isn't really in my lexicon. I don't say it very often. I don't hear that word very often. And yet, in the Easter Vigil liturgy, we hear it twice. Dazzling is the night for me. These two angels in dazzling robes. What is it about dazzling? If you think of the word dazzling, have you ever been dazzled or know somebody who dazzles you with something or some quality that they have? You know, in the liturgy, they speak of the night being dazzling, or the angels wearing these dazzling robes. You know, you might be dazzled by somebody who dresses a certain way or looks a certain way, or you might be dazzled by the way somebody speaks, or the kind of insights that they might have, or the qualities that they talk about when they speak. But when I think about being dazzled, or when I've noticed people that have that ability to dazzle, what comes to my mind is, wow, these are folks, when I think about the people that really dazzle me, they dazzle because of virtue. There's some characterological quality that they have that just really, as I reflect on it, it sets them apart. What makes them dazzling? What is it about them that dazzles me? It's that they're people that strive for virtue. I just want to speak today on this Easter Sunday for a few moments about those theological virtues: faith, hope, and charity. You know, when I'm working with patients as a psychologist, faith is huge. And we can talk about faith in a higher power, the Almighty, but even our ability to have faith in others, our ability to put trust in another person. One of the problems that I notice a lot when I'm working with people as a therapist is an inability to have faith, whether it's whether it's in God, whether it's in other people. Perhaps they've been hurt. Perhaps they had a relationship that ended badly. Perhaps they've felt like they've gotten burned or cheated. But I notice that people who don't have faith, either in God or in other people, life can be more of a challenge for them. They may have more burdens. They may have some things in their life that are kind of cumbersome, that make it difficult. And so on this Easter Sunday, my hope and prayer for you is that you can have that gift of faith, that theological virtue, that ability to put your trust in your faith in God, in other people. You'll recognize God working through others. And if you've had relationships, situations, problems with others in your life, that those wounds can be healed. Hope is a big one. When we talk about behavioral health, one of the key things that we look for is, does a person have hope for their future? Are they hopeless? And if they are hopeless or endorsing those kinds of things that make you think like, wow, they really don't have a lot to look forward to, it can become a real safety factor, because you just wonder, like, if you don't have hope, then what do you have? So hope. Look at this, Easter Sunday. Jesus was dead. He was lying in a tomb, and yet he rose to life. That gives me a lot of hope. And I think in that mystery of the resurrection, that's what we're all striving for and hoping for. In so many ways, we're living like dead people. We have vice. We wrestle with sin. We wrestle with hardship and challenge. Boy, I hope that this can be overcome and conquered. And through the merits of Jesus' resurrection, it can be. We can cooperate with God's grace. We make good decisions, try and live a good, virtuous life, rooted and grounded in hope. So much that we can say about this virtue. But when I'm working as a psychologist, I always try to assess, is this a person that has hope and is looking forward to their future? And then finally, charity, love. The people that I've been dazzled by, they don't live in a bubble. They're trying to go outside of themselves, trying to live a life in service to others, family members, friends, their community. These are folks that aren't just inward looking. They're looking out for their neighbors, for their family members, for their loved ones, for their friends, maybe even for people that they don't know. Yeah, the people that I've been dazzled by, people who dazzle me, are the ones that really try and do something great with their lives for the benefit of others, not just for themselves. And that's what that virtue of charity is all about, that pouring out. Man, if that isn't kind of one of the central themes of this Easter celebration, Jesus dies on the cross for you and for me. Talk about charity. What am I? I'm nothing. And yet Jesus lays down his life to raise me to something. Wow. That's something I can really have faith in. That's something I can really be hopeful about. And now I want to do likewise. Pour myself out for the service and the sanctification of others. So lots and lots and lots of things that can dazzle us today on this Easter celebration. I want you to think today now about your own life. What are things that you are doing to try and dazzle others and to be dazzling, so that we can get a taste of this Easter mystery and live it out in our lives? I don't know, as I thought about it, prayed about it, considered it, that word really stood out to me, and I wanted to just take this little bit of time today to speak to you about it. So in faith, in hope, in charity, we celebrate this wonderful Easter day, now this octave of Easter and this Easter season, and please God that we can celebrate this central Easter mystery every day of our lives. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you and your family have a blessed Easter celebration, and I hope to see you next time. I'm Dr. Garrett Boyer. This is Gospel Minded. Take care.